these are your jobs.
Yeah.
Listen, it's a beautiful catastrophe, don't ever forget. I'm God's highly introverted judge, killing lameness, mystic nature of pure quality. Rap skills, the ultimate vanilla's warrior. X-rated young Zillion, they expect me to lose when I just play the alphabet. Ticket no fi bunch, you don't
Alrighty, mashallah, we're live. So let me send the link. You know the drill. Isaac, I sent to you. I sent to Young Holiday. We share on our social graph and take it from there.
Man, this is hot, man. This is blazing.
Do you feel like flying? Do you feel like flying like me? I just feel like flying, like converting my legs into wings, and then just taking off. Like I don't even know where, but just like the galaxy, or even if it's time travel or whatever it is. Alrighty, Young Holiday sent you the link. Let me share now my one. You know, I put our start scene, which is the fire, as this song is playing. Like the fire is burning. If you look at Facebook now, that's what you see. I just feel like leaving that there.
Alright, let me take a look.
You see the fire burning. The fire is burning, and Young Holiday is like behind the scenes, just like it's like he's the kerosene or the fuel or something.
Yeah, nice. So who are your role models? Artistically, musically.
Well, artistically, I think I look up to people like Jacob, Kendrick Lamar, Jovi, God of Kame, and I really look up to Lionel Messi. I know people don't see him as an actor. He's doing a lot of fans. Lionel Messi, the footballer.
Okay, look up to him. He's an artist.
Yeah, his soccer is art, man.
Yeah, football is art. Do you know you like Sticky Fingers? You know Sticky Fingers? Yeah, they're a little bit from old school.
I didn't get you.
Yeah, do you know Sticky Fingers?
I've heard of the name, but I don't
Yeah,
know much
Onyx.
about that.
They had a group called
Repeat.
Onyx, was Sticky Fingers and Pedro Star.
Repeat. I don't care what you guys are talking about over there, man. Isaac, it's like you and Young Holiday can continue the show. I would just be here listening to this song.
But
What do you
now,
think?
Now, Joro, now, you gotta show us with that. We too want to listen to the song now.
Sorry, Young Holiday, to interrupt. Yeah.
It's good to have you in the house. I mean, your songs are, jam blazing. That's the best way to describe your
So, Mr. Isaac, what do you do?
Pardon? Holiday? Did you ask me what I do?
Yeah, that's what I had.
Yeah, I think that's what he had. But unfortunately, those village people have attacked this internet.
Yeah.
You know, but it's Brian. If you look at it as if the internet is relatively better in Cameroon than Nigeria, because most of the guests that we've had from Cameroon hardly had faulty internet. Yeah, internet is a little bit more stable than the guys we've had in Nigeria.
I've been telling you,
Have you
man.
noticed that?
Yeah, man. I've been telling you, we can borrow you Cameroon for a bit.
No, we don't want. We don't want that, you know. Yeah. So, Young Holiday, you asked the question that what I do for a living, right? Hello? Still not there. Hello? There is no
Sorry
comment.
about that. My internet is breaking. Network
Yeah.
is there.
Yeah. So you asked if what I do, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I'm a journalist, man. I'm a bloody journalist. We're the ones, yeah. I'm a journalist. I'm basically a hostile environment journalist specialist. So we're the guys that report all the Boko Haram and all the security issues in Nigeria. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
He knows how to dodge bullets.
yeah. Do you like journalism?
well, I'm not very good at journalism. I've never been bold enough to stand in front of crowds and talk. So, but it's
Well,
something I'm getting
but
to
but
learn.
but I think it takes a lot of guts to even be a rapper than a journalist.
Yeah, I was gonna say that.
Yeah, because you stand in front of people every day to do your art, whether it is in the studio, whether you are in a concert and all of that. There are always people around you. You know,
Yeah,
we
that's
most we most times we not necessarily in public. You know, and I think if you have the talent for the passion for music, you can also be a journalist. Yeah, I think so.
yeah, that's actually true. You get
Yeah,
no
yeah.
matter
Yeah,
how much anxiety you get when you just get on stage, everything is different. It just
yeah,
starts.
yeah. So like what we even do here on Topo Spaces, personally for me is therapeutic. Because every show that we've had here, we learned a lot, and at the end of the day, I always come out excited. I'm sure even Brian, he
Oh
comes
yeah,
out a better person at the end of every show,
yeah,
each show that we have. So it tells us that what you do, is also therapeutic. Speaking, expression. You know,
Yeah, it's true.
yeah. So
absolutely.
that's nice. So I just like to understand you in what we do in Topo Spaces. Is learning basically.
Oh,
We you speak, people learn. Others contribute in terms of asking questions and all of that. So you also been guest to also learn one or two things. So we like to focus on the rough work, as Brian likes to put it.
Yeah,
You know, um, most times people just see young Holiday on stage performing with all the bling bling, with all the stardom, with all on the limelight. You know, not knowing what he has really put in. What is the rough work that got him to that place?
yeah,
You know what I mean. But
yeah.
let
The
me,
whole background work.
aha. So please, we like you to tell us who you are, your journey, as far as when you were 2, 3, 5, 6, 7 years, and to get to where you are today.
Well, for me to summarize that, like it's a very long journey. So for
mashallah.
me to be able to summarize that, let's just say I'll just put it in steps, like maybe 5 years, or let's just say 15 years before, then 5 years later, then now.
Yeah, especially being that you've been in Topo Spaces, so you don't have to go to all those lengths.
Yeah,
You know,
we
yeah. So
can
you
just
can
reference them
just
to the other one.
summarize
Yeah,
basically.
mashallah.
Yeah, so personally for me, when I started into music, it was just something that I got into. It wasn't a decision I made like I wanted to be a musician. I, my other brothers, they were into music, they were producers. So I just used to go to the studio, sit, listen, they'll do their thing. I would just sit there, listen to them. Then I was like, well, I'm good with writing. I'm good with writing. I've always been good with writing things. So maybe I can try this. So it's just trying it. Just let me just try to get in this thing they are doing, and just getting into it. I discovered it's something I really like. It's something I would like to study more. But there's always the challenge of parents here in Cameroon, they don't believe in music. So when you get into music and your grades in school start dropping, music becomes a problem. It it's seen as a distraction. It's something parents don't want you to do. So that's the first challenge I got, like to be able to do music and still balance it with going to school without getting really bad grades. So my parents are really supportive. They are extremely supportive. So it wasn't that hard when I got into the university, and my dad was like, okay, let's see how you can balance being an artist and going into the university. And personally, for me, there was a lot of stress, like trying to get money for studio time. That was a lot of stress to go through. My allowance my father sent me was just like 20K per month. So you can barely feed with that, and you
That's
need
much
to
money,
pay
man.
your bills. So you need to start hustling, start trying to get to the studio, try to record. And when I got my first degree, when I finished school, that's when I really got into music. Now that's when I really put myself into it. I met a couple of friends. They were about starting a small label, Vanilla City. They were about starting a small label, so they were like, "Yeah, Young Holiday, you're good. Let's build something together. Let's try something." And it was really interesting. Glenn Amungwa is the CEO of the label. He just also got his
Mashallah.
first degree. I
Mm-hmm.
just got my first degree. He studied marketing and accounting. I studied economics. The other members of the label were all just from getting our first degree. So we're
Mashallah.
like, let's build something of our own. And so that's where I really got into music. That was 2015, 2016. And that's when I started releasing music out there. And it's been great. It's been great so far from the way people take it. The kind of music I do, it's not the mainstream music around here. I do music most people will refer to as underground music because conscious rap here, it's not mainstream. It's not something people are willing to accept that easy. And now that's where the greatest challenge came in. Me
Mashallah.
trying to bring this thing I feel like this is what I feel. This is the kind of music I feel I'm good at. I feel I do music that can connect to people's emotions, can cause you to think. Reflective music, when you listen to it, you get to think about certain things about your life. And over here, most people just want to dance.
Yeah.
People just want to go to the clubs and dance and drink and all of that. So it was really difficult getting into the scene with that type of music.
Mashallah.
And a lot of people told me, switch it up, dumb down the lyrics, try to just, and so far it's been great. Right now, a lot of Cameroonians are beginning to understand conscious music. They're beginning to understand conscious art, and they're beginning to understand rap music. Like they're really embracing it. I just released a song yesterday titled Ewube, and I got up this morning. I released it on a website. I gave the exclusive to a website my friend is building, so it's not really a popular website anybody knows.
Zigtunes?
And the
Zigtunes?
website is Zigtunes,
Oh wow. Yeah, that's where I was playing from actually. Alongside you too.
Zik Tunes.
Yeah.
And I woke up this morning and we were at 2,500 plays on the
Mashallah.
website, and I was like, damn, damn.
There is it. If you wanna
That's huge,
see.
man.
There is it.
Yeah, that's the track right there.
Yeah.
We released it yesterday. And damn, I got up with 2,500 plays. I mean, the guy, he was surprised. He told me there was one moment this morning when there were 50 people simultaneously streaming the music at once. Like
Mashallah.
50 people were hitting the stream
The
button
server, yeah.
at once. So people are beginning to embrace this type of music here, this rap music here. And the journey for me, it's been a great journey because doing something challenging and getting to work through that challenge over and over, getting to express yourself, and it doesn't come easy, and that's what I really like about it. It's not an easy journey.
Mashallah.
I mean, what I find very fascinating about you is what we've been talking about here on Topo Spaces. I mean, trying to get Africa to do something new. Let's not bore ourselves and all of that. Let's have something different.
And let's
So
get
I mean,
to explore.
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, and so I'm happy. So it's a good thing now that I mean you are raising the bar as per people now, people who did not really know what conscious music is, you know, they now know it and they are now even consuming it. But I like you to take time now, you know, to explain to us again, to teach us to tell us what is we can understand conscious music in America. When somebody's in America, he's doing conscious music. You are in Europe, the West, you're doing conscious music. When you say you're doing conscious music in Africa, what is it about? What are the themes? What do you discuss? What are you saying?
You're blessing the government.
Wow, that's a nice question. That's a really great question. That's all right. So with conscious music, it's about awareness, and awareness comes in different stages. You have emotional awareness, you have societal awareness,
Mashallah.
and now with conscious music, it's all about trying to get people to understand their environment, try to get people to understand themselves. So it's that balance between the two for trying to get people to understand themselves and their environment. We might think we know ourselves very well, so you really ask the question of who am I?
Mashallah.
So you get to
Yeah.
ask that question and you discover you really don't know yourself that much. You're just what people say you are. You're living your
Mm.
whole life just being what everybody's saying you are. This person says you are this. You just jump into it. Maybe your parents say you're good with maths, you just become a mathematician and all of that. But when you start asking the question of who am I, that's when you start getting answers about yourself that you yourself you'll be surprised. And that's what conscious music is all about. It's about
Mm.
asking yourself questions. It must not be the right questions, it's just questions. Just ask yourself questions. Nobody cares if the questions are right or they are wrong. There are really no right or wrong questions. So just ask yourself questions. Why am I doing this? Why am I rapping? Why am I going to school? Why do I get up in the morning and I pray? Why am I into this religion or that religion? So it's just about
Mashallah.
that awareness, trying to get people to understand themselves more and understand how you can now impact your society. I would like to call my songs reflective because you might listen to it and not even know why you're thinking about something. It just hits you. While you're listening, something just pops up in there and it takes your thought far. You start thinking, why do people do this? Why do people get into wars? Why do we keep fighting each other every day? And it's not like every artist is supposed to do conscious music. There are times people don't want to think. There are times people just want to dance. People just want to forget. People just don't want to be stressed about the process of thinking. So I have nothing against artists who don't focus on conscious music. They are playing their own part in the whole universe and everything we are doing, but there have to be people who do the conscious music. We cannot all switch off our minds and just try to live life. So to me, it's all about asking the questions of who am I? What am I doing? Where is this
Mashallah.
leading? What is life? And that's what conscious music is about. It's all about awareness, emotional awareness, understanding yourself and your society.
Mashallah. Man, you sound like
Wow.
philosopher, man. And you know
Yeah, it's
now
philosophy, man, Brian.
I'm
This guy
thinking,
is this guy is a revolutionary.
man, Isaac, you know, I feel like doing conscious music now. Like I can just flow Isaac Newton's third law. It says every action has
But Brian,
equal opposite
if you look at
reaction.
what we do, if you look at what we do on Topo Spaces,
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
is a conscious art too. You know.
it's a
Yeah.
conscious movement. That's right.
Yeah,
That's
it's a
a lot of
conscious art.
consciousness.
Mashallah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think Fela was also a conscious music artist.
Oh, he was mad conscious. He was like next level conscious. I think he 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 found enlightenment. He got to that point. Got
Yes,
to that
and so this is why when you were talking, I was just thinking about the Anglophone crisis,
Yeah.
you know, and I was just looking at Brian and I was like, okay, so Brian, what's going to happen
Mashallah.
with this guy now? What is Anglophone? How is it going to? What is going to happen, Brian?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, he's an anglophone too, and you know, I was giggling and saying by the side that from what Young Holiday was saying about conscious music, it means that perhaps conscious music is blasting the government. You see what I mean?
Yeah,
That's the
I mean,
easiest.
if you look at it, right,
Uh,
what did Fela do to Nigerians and Africans basically? He basically, conscientized us, gave us the power to think on our own, individualize us, made us black people Africans to be proud of our blackness.
Yeah.
Right? That was what he did. Right?
Yeah, right.
So I think that is the same thing that this brother is doing. My next question was to be, what are the themes that you discuss? You know, I've not listened. It's Brian that has been enjoying it, and I'm sure he's still playing it underground.
Yeah, I can actually put it in the background if it doesn't disturb too much.
Yeah. So what are the themes that are passionate to you? You know, your parents tried to stop you, you know, and all of that, but something kept you. There is a passion, there is a magnet. You know, what are those things that you will always see in your music and that you really want to conscientize the people of the society?
Okay, first off, being a kind of, how can I put it? Being a shy person, I don't really go out that much. I don't vibe that much, like meet people and we vibe. Being a shy person, where most of the times I would not say anything if they're having a discussion here and I have a point of view about it, I would not say anything. I would just, I'm always just afraid to talk. Like, it's hard for me. I cannot say fear. I'm just shy to talk in public and all of that. So music to me has always been that place where I can actually express myself fully. I'm not fighting with anybody when I'm writing. It's about me. It's about me fighting myself. So music is a place where I can really express what I think. I can express my views on politics. I can express my views on love. I can express my views on hate. I can express my views on envy. I can express my views about loneliness. So with conscious music, it's a whole range of topics. And since I mostly deal with the emotions, I talk a lot about love, about hatred, about loneliness, about fear, anxiety, about our internal struggles, the things that we think about before we do the things we do. Because these are the things that actually guide us. These are the things that make us who we are. So talking of something like politics, I have my views about that. I have my views on politics and all of that. And in music, that's the point where I can really express myself without having to argue with somebody or through that. So when people listen to my music, they get to understand how I think. They get to understand how I see life, my perceptions about things. Because personally, I'm someone who believes life is all about perception. It's all about the direction you're looking from. And we just need to listen to everybody. We just need to listen to people more. And music is that thing that gives me the platform to express myself and hope people get to listen to me.
Interesting. Brian, did you hear this guy? He's a philosopher, man.
Yeah, man. Like, man, knock yourself out. I'm here enjoying the music, man. Go on. So yeah, I'm sharing the screen with the warming up, and he is actually just giving us like very, very, very abstract reason behind all of it, like his whole endeavor, which captures even this warming up that is going on. So I just put it, since the lyrics is there as we're chatting, people can also see the essence of who Young Holiday is. And you know, about conscious music, it reminds me of Platonic Dialogues. I, for one, in my experiences, sometimes when I chat with people and I give analogies, they're like, hey, you're good at that. But how did I learn that? I learned it from reading Platonic Dialogues. When you're reading Socrates and Plato and other people discussing, they always give these analogies that are very common, and you absorb it without even knowing. And then when you're discussing with people, you also drop an analogy and they're like, hey man, where did you learn that? And so I think there's also some kind of a conscious movement where they're having this dialogue and your soul is absorbing the beauties of it. So the same with this music. Like one thing one would notice with Young Holiday's music is the art itself. You are in it. It's like you're in the lab with him. You see how he's putting these words together. And when I look at it again closely, to me, it appears that you have this special relationship with words, that it's like words to you are like little things that you're like, hey, there, come here. Fall, come here. You, the other world, come here. Join with these guys. Stand on the first line. It looks like that's what I see when I see his art. Like it's like he has a magic wand, just commanding these words, stitching them together, and sewing this fabric that comes out as this song that is really, really beautiful. And we were participating in that ritual. We're absorbing it too, in the same way that someone absorbed a dialogue. You see, so in my experience, that's what I see, and thank you for that. I hope that you can keep pushing that so that some of us can be getting wiser and wiser.
Yeah, I mean, this is so interesting. I love stuff like this, honestly. And I'm not the kind of person that an artist come here, I just like to hail him, you know. But I mean, I love this creativity that I'm seeing here. I would like to ask, who is the producer who produced this your video, your graphic producers and all of that?
Okay, my graphic producer, the person who does the lyric videos and all of that, it's my elder brother.
Mashallah.
Whoa. Whoa.
So put some respect on the word elder. I see you, elder. That's amazing.
Yeah, that's his name, Demostra.
Man, I'm gonna repeat this as you guys are talking.
That's his name, Demostra. Demostra, you sabi. You sabi. May God bless you. This is solid. I like what I'm seeing. This is standard. This is something very standard. So then I asked. I have a friend. His name is K Solo. He's a hardcore rapper. We all know that in Africa, rap does not really fly. The guys that have tried it, even in Nigeria here, and Sarkodie in Ghana, has lifted the flag, and maybe there are some new guys that I really don't know. But it is not the genre of music in Africa that brings the money, the chatters. So how do you reconcile that with what you're doing?
Okay, that's really great again. Your questions are really challenging, and I like them a lot.
Man. He
because I like your art.
The questions are really challenging. I really like them. Let me try to get my internet right.
Yeah, okay.
All right, cool.
Mashallah, take your time.
Take your time. We always defeat the internet. We are resilient.
Man, I'm really glad to see such works, because I love rap music. I feel like most African songs that I listen to, Isaac, I once told you this, like when I listen to contemporary Afrobeat, I feel like to sleep. It just relaxes me. But when I listen to like rap, that's what I grew up with. I can work with rap. Like I feel like there's something in me that is burning. Like there's some push. They need that. It just keeps me going. And sometimes when I listen to rap and I drive, especially when I'm in the Mustang, man, I'm afraid that I'll get a ticket. Because I can't control my leg.
You fly. Brian, let me tell you something. Sometimes when I'm in my house and and my family is not around, I just like to clean up the whole house and do everything. Once I just put in a rap music, my favorite guy, everybody, is Tupac or Biggie Smalls. Once I slam their album, I will clean up the whole house like mint, man.
Shining, ding,
and
ding.
just like what you said, if I'm driving and I'm jamming to these guys,
the police will pull you over, man. Like man, I remember like when I used to run to like North Carolina. It's something. It's like 6 hours something. But when I put rap and put the kind of songs that I want, man, 5 hours something, I'm there. You see what I mean? So these kinds of songs, man, they're amazing.
Oh boy.
Rap music is really an amazing brand. It's an amazing genre of music. And like you asked, how do I reconcile the fact that Africans don't vibe to the hardcore rap music and it really doesn't bring in a lot of money?
Yeah.
There are certain reasons which we need to take into consideration, like people vibe more to things they understand. People vibe more to things that come easy to them, things that they get. That's why they are more art students in schools than there are science students. That's why there are very few physics students in universities. There are a lot of students doing law and journalism and the things that people easily get and the things that people easily understand. But when it comes to things that challenge their minds too bad, they run away from it. And
All right.
we
All right.
cannot set the threshold low for ourselves. We cannot just agree that this is more than us, so we should just do what we are comfortable with. It's time for us to start pushing beyond what is comfortable to us. We need to give ourselves the challenge to try to understand it, and it's not going to happen in a day or two or 1 year or 3 years. It's something for generations. Maybe our generation will set a certain threshold or standard. The next generation will need to increase that. And just like we are getting more rocket scientists in Africa, we are going to get more rap fans and rap lovers in Africa. So right now, we are really concerned about the money, and we have to aim high on changing the narrative more than trying to get the money. A lot of people have made money and they didn't change much in the world. So
Mashallah.
right now we are more concerned about changing the narrative.
Mashallah.
Brian, this guy, this dude is giving us fresh perspectives on this show today.
My friend,
Brian, let me say
I'm ready
something.
to
You know
come
what
out
he
of
said?
here wise, man. I'm ready to emerge from this episode very, very wise. I'll check. Maybe my hair will be great by the time we're leaving. I won't be surprised.
So, Brian, you know what from his response, what I got,
No, tell me, please.
and I'm really getting to understand why a lot of people do not subscribe to rap, not just in Africa, even globally. You know, rap is like talking, right?
Yeah,
It's like just talking, right? That is rap, right? So if you are just talking and you rap depends more on the lyrics, then it has to be sensible. It has to make sense. Unlike just singing Afrobeat or singing, and just playing a music, a dance club, a dance hall music, the rhythm, the instruments, take away, make more of effect than the lyrics. But for rap, right, the words must make sense.
Yeah.
And eventually, the sensibilities that come out from those words, most of the times, pricks our consciousness.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And so people don't like to be confronted with the truth most of the times.
Mashallah.
Right? So if this guy is doing what he calls a conscious rap, naturally you find out that people might not likely pay attention so much, because when they pay attention, it's like he's putting them in a lecture hall and he's giving them additional further mathematics.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm making sense.
Very much.
You're
Very
making
much.
a lot
Man.
of sense. You're making a lot of sense.
So that is why you find out a lot of people do not, because rap, right? If you don't listen to it, you can't like it.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. But if you are listening to a dance hall music, you don't have to understand the lyrics. Just understand the beats and the rhythm and how it makes you flow. It goes like that. But for rap, you have to get the lyrics, you have to get the message of the artist, then you fall in love with the song. So I think rap is more academic. That's what I've been struggling.
Yeah. I mean,
it's more academic, it's more religious.
Yeah. And luckily, when you get some rapper or some group like how like the vibes I'm getting, that they right with the times, in the sense that harmony begins not just in stitching together the right words, right? It's also about stitching the right tunes. So in terms of melody, so that's why some of us did not really like rap, because you see a rapper talking a lot of sense, but the beat is just crazy. It just makes you sleepy. You see what I mean? But now and then they that's them focusing on just the words or the lyrics. But when you see a rapper that also has good taste, that he can pick some good beat and then flow on that beat, then you know that, man, you're in for a ride. And it's really amazing that way, because then you can get even a pastor, or you can get even the moderator, how they call that in Presbyterian, even the imam. Even the imam listen to it, because then you'll be tackling his soul and from multiple angles.
Yeah. I mean, I remember Eminem at one point saying that if it wasn't for Tupac, if it wasn't for the lyrics of Tupac, he would have committed suicide. That every time he contemplated suicide, if he listens to Tupac, you know, the lyrics, you know, and so it always gave him hope. It always kept him alive, you know.
Yeah,
So,
Vladimir Putin. I don't know if he was just trying to throw something at the United States when they asked him who is best. Like, I think it's artist or musician. He said Tupac.
Whoa.
Vladimir Putin of Russia.
I would believe him, because Tupac is a revolutionary, right? And he's the realest guy, right? And whatever anybody wants to say about Vladimir Putin, he's a revolutionary, and I think he's a real guy. He's a stand-up guy. So, you know, I respect him for that.
There is a whole carton. There's a whole carton of comments. Yeah, sorry, Isaac. There's a whole carton of comments here.
All right.
I think we can go through them. You have Futsu Jeanette, and thanks. Shout out to you. Thanks for joining. And Futsu Jeanette says the fire burning reminds me of Young Holiday's track "Warming Up." Yeah. That's what we're saying at the start. That the fire that was burning was actually almost an incarnation of the act of warming up, and so I just felt like leaving it there and not switching it to
So you see, Brian, you're an artist too.
You know. If you say that, I'll take that. Well, I'll go to the studio. I will go to the studio soon, Isaac. Give me like 10 years or so. You know what I mean?
That's too far.
Too far. All right. I will go very soon then. Then the next one from so we have Mimi J. Milson, Holy Suffer, and then there's also some replies, but I will just so I'll just pick them randomly. So if I don't read yours, please don't be pissed. So Egypt, Demonstra Egypt. I don't know if that's your shadow. They say
that's
that
my elder brother.
Oh,
that's
wow.
the guy who does the lyrics.
Mashallah.
That's the guy who does the lyrics.
Shout out, Big Boss.
That's the winch. That is the winch.
Yeah. Shout out, Big Boss.
Okay, you are a winch, oh.
Yeah. Thanks for all the work you guys are putting in. The simplest thing I can say in this endeavor is that, like we say here with Isaac most times, even if a bulk of people don't understand what you're doing, maybe in 2,000 years, like how people go to the pyramids now and then take something and be like, oh, these people are really wise. Maybe that's what they'll be doing with your song. So good job, guys, and please keep pushing. So he says that these are the type of people we need to make them stars so they can truly represent us anywhere, anytime. Young Holiday, yeah, I vote for that, man. If I could cast all the votes that I can muster, I would just drop it on this endeavor, man. Thank you guys so much.
Thanks so much for having me. I really appreciate your program a lot. It's really the right platform for me. It's the platform where I can express myself. I can express my thoughts without feeling like someone might judge it or say, are you sure? And none of that. So
I see.
It's been an amazing platform for me.
Yeah, mashallah.
I mean, when you say that, I'm sure myself and Brian, we feel so very honored. We feel so very fulfilled that you feel that people now see Topo Spaces where you can come and say whatever you want to say. This is why Topo Spaces is here. Nothing more than that. Just come here and say whatever you want to say, as far as it's going to contribute to the development of humanity. You know, it's so solid. You know, that video that passed. There are a lot of lyrics there that I was trying to read the lyrics. I also pay attention to the program, but it's okay. It's okay. So let's go. So I like to ask you this, right? Because now you are a preacher. You're like a priest. You're like an imam.
You're a pulpit.
You know. So what is your focus at the moment? What are you preaching to the youth of Cameroon? And how do you hope to see the youth of Cameroon say in the next like 5 years? Not yourself now, but because you are a preacher, that's what you do. That's your art. That mic
Okay.
standing before.
That's,
Yeah, go ahead.
that's really great. That's great again. That's another really great question. And I think that's the whole purpose of an artist, how you impact the lives of those around you and how you impact people. And personally, I know a lot of times we would like to say the word is about being there for each other. It's not wrong. We would say the word is about unity. It's not wrong. It's just it's limited because we try to bring people together who don't know themselves well. We take people who are doubting their own selves, and then we try to force them together, which brings this thing of some people start feeling insecure about some other people. And it's something that is happening a lot to my country now, where most people just follow crowds. Most people just want to belong to the majority. And what I want to do with my music is to be able to get people to understand themselves and be individuals, make decisions as individuals, talk as an individual, talk like this is what I think. I think this, and you will meet people who will vibe with your own point of view. And that is when we can have unity, when people of equal understanding about life come together and are living. That's when we have unity. And I think it's one of the problems we have again when it comes to religion, where people who are Christians think they have to fight people who are Muslims, or they think they have to fight other religions because personally they don't understand themselves well. They don't know why they are doing the things they are doing. They just want to go to where the crowd is. And my whole point in my music, it's about getting people to understand themselves. Have your voice as your voice. Let it be your voice. If you want to talk somewhere, let it be what you think. This is what I think about this situation. Let it not be, since people say rap music is not selling, I will do Afrobeat. No, what do you think? Do you think everyone should do Afrobeat, or you want to be an individual? And that leads me to the next project I'm working on. I'm about to release an EP project of about 7 songs. And after that, I'm releasing an album titled Greatness. And the whole point of the album, it's about speaking out. It's about being able to express yourself, speak out. Personally, as a human being, I've done terrible things I would not want people to know.
Me too.
But in this album, I'm bringing it out. I want people to be able to see me for me, see me like I've made these mistakes and we can still relate. I've done these things and we can still relate with each other. And that's what my music really preaches. It's about people finding themselves and their own path. You have to be strong enough as an individual, then we can unite someday. We cannot force people to come together and force them to accept other people's point of views. It's about people finding their own point and sticking to that. So my next project, there's going to be a lot of maybe uncomfortable things to people at first, but they'll get to understand it. Like I have this song that talks about death. A lot of people, when they're about to die, that's when they call their family members and start telling their family members what they really think about them. That's when you start in your first son. I've always been seeing this, and for me, it's cowardly. That's a cowardly thing to do because you are afraid of people living with your choice. You don't want to live with people with the choices you're making. People do that because they feel like it's safe to say that time and die. After I'm about to die, so it's safe. I can say whatever I think about you, but imagine if we could call these family members when we are still 25 and we express exactly what we feel about them. So we can live with each other's choices. I know what you feel about me. You don't need to wait to when you're about to die to start telling me this is it. And so it's all about that individuality, that thing of people understanding themselves and knowing that we have to face this world first as individuals before we start talking about as a globe.
Mashallah.
Wow.
So
Brian,
it's almost like it's almost like if I'm at work, I should just blast my boss. I should not wait until the day that I want to quit and be like, you motherfucker, you motherfucker. I used to work all week, all night, and you never had my time and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And you know, Brian, you know, honestly, speaking about ourselves, Africans, yeah, for me, I would say it here and not apologize to anybody. I think what we lack as Africans is, or what we have too much as Africans is, we have too much tonic for hypocrisy.
Yeah.
We have too much tonic of a followership. People just want to go with the majority.
Yeah, right.
You know, and this is what has retarded our development. You know what I'm saying? Because if people understand their essence, again, back to the word essence, if people understand who they are as individual, you know, like man, come on, Topo Spaces, man, we are here with Brian just because we love to do what we're doing. Basically, I think I said that for people to hear. We're here because we love to do what we're doing. We're here because we like to be together, to talk about issues, you know, and all of that. Right? Money, whatever is going to come, there's no doubt.
Yeah,
right?
we're spending money now instead.
You know, so because he is himself and I am myself, you know, so we can understand ourselves and build. But you know,
that's
in
true.
Africa,
That's how
you know,
I think it's supposed to work.
Yeah, you know, in Africa, most businesses, I would say now, let me venture again into businesses, have failed because, you know, everybody just cowardly follows the boss.
True, you can't even question what they think. Like when the boss says it's
what
this,
they
yeah,
think.
exactly.
You know, and everybody, if we agree that we're Christians and Muslims, right? And we agree that there is a God that has blessed us individually, right? So it means that whatever thing that God has deposited in each and every one of us has an essence. All you need to do is put it out there. It will be appreciated. But because now people are coward, as you have said, we live a coward life. So we hide the good part of us, you know, and put out the fake part of us, which does not help humanity generally. So, Brian, I'm saying here that, man, this dude, man, you know, I mean, you should speak loud, you know, try and get the best speakers, you know, make your music so very loud, you know, and I'm sure what your utmost desire of getting people to be individualized, you know, I mean, it is going to be attained. The song that you just released yesterday, you said you were surprised to wake up and see about 2,000 and something followers, right?
Yeah, and views. Yeah.
So it means that you are giving people freedom.
Mashallah.
That's what Tupac. Yeah, that's what the greatest musicians did. Fela Lukonapo.
Yeah.
You know, so I see you as a voice in Africa. I'm sorry to say to go this far, but I mean I just have to say it, Brian.
And you know,
thanks a lot.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Let me chime in too. Dawood.
Okay.
And I just want to say why I think Isaac is saying what he's saying. It looks like he's losing his senses. I mean it in the right way. Like when you see something, is the same that you see like a beautiful girl and then you start walking and you fall in a gutter or something. That's what happens when you see something nice that you're so really appreciated. It knocks you off your senses. So Dawood, for example, when he used to recite the Psalms, that's David. In Islam, he's a prophet. When he used to recite the Psalms, everything used to stop and listen to him and also praise God. Like if a horse is drinking water, it stops and it starts listening to the guy. So you see that all of those things lose their senses too. They say even the leaves, the trees, the mountains, and all of them. And that's because for Christians, when you read the Psalms, like it could be Psalm 91? So walk through the valley of darkness, whatever it is, and stuff like that. When people read it, they really appreciate it. So that was the gift that he had, and that was him speaking out. You see, so today as artists, there you have that singular opportunity to really perform that art and capture people's souls. You see, and some people realize that. Some people don't realize that. And Young Holiday, like your song, I remember when you were coming up, I was actually leaving Facebook at that time. I had to go to my own mountain and go and meditate and gain some wisdom in my own field. So I was off for a couple of years. But I remember my friends and Fadi, that's Dawe, and then Cole Jackson, they were really like showing off your works. And one thing hit me when I saw him. I saw him go for this event. I think it was a Nafsa region. He was putting on slippers and socks. That's when I knew that this dude was a real dude. You know what I mean? Yeah, like, because then when you see somebody that relaxed, it means that they have found something. It's like they have found gold.
Essence.
Yes.
Essence.
Because then they don't really care about how they look. You see what I mean? So, yeah, exactly.
When you understand your essence.
Yeah, right. So when I saw that, and then his lyrics remind me of a lot of rap, because man, like, it could be. I remember when I was in Boya, I was once working on a project that took an award, right? And I was listening to rap. I was listening to this song by Drake, and man, I love my team. Man, I love my. It was on repeat. Like, as it's on repeat, I'm just reading and reading and writing. So when I started listening to his song, it was putting me in the same mood, man. So all this long yarn is just for me to say that, yes, like you said, the money can come later. And it's the same thing that Garba Lawal, who was a super ego star, he told us yesterday. He was here yesterday. He told us that back in the day, they played soccer because they loved it. It was their passion, and then the money showed up, and that's how things are. So if you keep pushing, the money will show up. We also had Idris, the guy who sang Nigeria Jaga Jaga. He sang his song 20 years later. That's when people actually understood what he was saying, and he got to reap the worth out of it. And so I think that the same thing, man. Like you keep pushing, you keep doing your stuff, and you never know who you would inspire. And perhaps you can inspire some entrepreneur like Isaac, who is building his own like news.
He has already inspired me.
Yeah, and stuff
He's
like that.
He's already inspired me already.
Mashallah. Yeah. So that's my own yarn, man. That's my own yarn. So now about this endeavor, these two songs. Why the two songs? Like what happened? What happened to you, man? Like were you walking and then you know, I watch a lot of anime. And sometimes, have you ever seen where inspiration hits some of his characters in the anime? It's like somebody gave them a knock on the head. You see, they kept walking, and then they're like, "What?" And then some that you're like, "What happened?" And then he starts running, maybe to go write down the thing that got into his head. So please let us know, like, what happened? What happened, man, with these songs?
Yeah, so I've been quiet for a while. I've been quiet from releasing songs. I was trying to work on me distributing my songs. I was trying to get enough material for me. I'm working on my own personal website where I will distribute my songs on. So I had to take some time back and work on the website and do more music and do more video content. And so while I was working on all of that, I took some time out. It took me like 5 months without releasing. So I came back and I was like, okay, I want to now release my website. I want to release the EP project. I want to release all of these. And I actually made a post on Facebook the other day when I announced that I was going to release this song, Warming Up, on the 20th of November. I had not recorded the song. I just felt like I needed to release something. I had not recorded the song yet. So I feel like I need to push myself to release something. I need to do something. So I went online and I was like, 20th November, I'm dropping a song. And there was really no song. There was actually no song then. So I was just in the studio listening to instrumentals. Raf was sending me instrumentals. I'm listening to them, just walking my head out. And then I was like, damn, this is the perfect title, Warming Up.
Yeah.
Let's just warm up. Let's just get people talking. Let's get the air warm. Let's just give people a glimpse of what the whole EP project will be about. And that's when I recorded the song. So when I recorded the song, the night before releasing the song, I was alone at the studio. And the next song I released, it's a song I had written way back when I was in UB. That's about 2014. Yeah, I had written the song before then. I just sat in the studio and I was like, let me drop something before warming up even. Like why
That's the
people are
warm
trying
up
to
of the
warm
warm
up.
up. That's the warm up of the warm up.
Like let me drop something before warm up. So that night I actually recorded the song. I sent it to Ralph Instrumental. Shout out to him. He's doing a
Mashallah.
lot for me.
Shout out Rap
He puts
Instrumental.
everything, like he puts in his best everything for things to work out. So when I sent him the song, he was like, "Damn, this is really great. He's going to work on it this night." Unfortunately, he's in Bamenda and there was no light, so
Oh, NEPA.
in Bamenda the electricity there is crazy. Lights come like once in a week, and you guys stay the whole time without any
Jesus
electricity.
Christ.
Yeah.
He couldn't work on it,
Never.
and so the 20th now reached, and we had to drop warming up. That's when the lights came, and so he mastered the song and then sent it back to me the day after warming up. And I was like, well, since warming up is here already, let's put it out. Let's put this other song out. And the whole thing goes with the theme of my next project, which is about speaking out.
Yeah. Okay.
The song Ewube, it's about a crush I had on this beautiful girl who is now an artist in Cameroon, doing great.
Yeah.
We used to be classmates in the University of Boya, and I would just sit at the back of the class, just, so I wrote that song back then, like, damn, I need to write this song and let this girl hear it. I didn't have the guts to say it back then.
Yeah.
So I decided, man, there's really not enough time for us to be afraid of saying what we think. There's not enough time. We have to say what we think, have to say what we feel. Let's
right
put it
now.
out, express right now. That there's nothing like we'll say what we feel tomorrow. Let's express it. I mean, I got into a whole lot of problems with my girlfriend for doing that song.
Nice. It means that the song was good. Yeah, it means that she's the real girlfriend. It means she's the real girlfriend. If she was just like, okay, then you'd be surprised that, this lady.
I got into a whole lot of issues, but we could solve it because it's out there now. It's there. She knows that. That's what I felt, and we have now passed that. It's past that. So I think that's the beauty of speaking out. You get to move on from things that are holding you back, and that's what I'm trying to bring up in the next project, speaking out.
Mashallah. Man, you're like a ninja, man, in the sense that I am a ninja. Isaac too is a ninja. In the sense that ninjas, right? Like a ninja is the kind of person that, I don't know if you used to hear this joke that they say that put your finger, like, so this palm meets people in the bush, and then he has like a catapult. And he says that if you want to test my half, put your finger up and I'll teach you a lesson with this stone. You see, but the ninja is someone that doesn't just say that, but before you even have your finger up, you already touched it. So it's not, the ninja is not just about talking. So when we started this show, you told us, or this episode, you told us that you gave us the essence of your next project, which is like speaking out, and you gave us examples when people want to die, then they call people, and that's when they muster all the courage that they have, and then confess. You see what I mean? But you went ahead and you did that to Ewube. It takes a lot of courage, Isaac, for you to tell a lady that you love.
It takes a lot of courage, man.
And you're a public figure. You did that in public. You didn't wait until you were dying, and then when they brought holy water, when they put small salt there and touched it on your forehead, then you say, oh, please go and call for Ewube. You can say that, oh, Ewube is like this, man. You see what I mean? Yeah. So actually, which means that the work itself is an incarnation of the whole act and the whole thought. You see, so it's some sort of practical thing. So I really appreciate that from a personal point of view, and it's a good step, and it comes in a time when that's what we need. Look at things like NSAS. Look at things like in Cameroon and Anglophone crisis, where people try to speak out, then they speak as if they're not speaking, or they don't speak as if they're speaking. So at the end of the day, we don't even know what's going on. You see what I mean? So yeah, it's really a project that is timely, and man, like, feel free to appear here anytime so that you can keep driving us to keep pushing, and that's how all of us can change. You with your song, you inspire us, we inspire the other people, they inspire everyone, and this ripple effect, and we'll have an ocean of bubbles that can just help us fly towards achieving our own perfection.
Wow. Thank you so much. Thank you very much for having me on your platform. It's always an amazing pleasure being here.
Mashallah.
You,
Mm.
first of all, the questions are really challenging, and the questions get you to, it hits the core of what your principles are, and that's really great. I really love that. I really enjoyed the question on what are you trying to pass on to the youths. That's really an important question everybody has to ask when they get into music. And thanks, Mr. Isaac, so much for the amazing questions and for digging deep.
Yo, man, yo.
Thanks so much.
Mashallah.
I really,
there is a
I really
question.
appreciate you. I really appreciate you. You know, I would like to share this this artist which whom I love so much. His name is Sticky Fingers. Yeah,
Okay.
please, just Sticky Fingers. He has an album called Autobiography, Black Trash, Autobiography of a Black Man or something. Sticky Fingers. Please just listen to it. Yeah, because I feel there's a depth in your voice. You know, the guy speaks from the boil of his stomach, and I think that was the first thing I heard from when I was listening to you. Yeah. So please just go listen to the guy. Yeah.
There is a question. There is a question
Okay.
from Futsa Jeanette. Futsa Jeanette, thanks for the question. She says, I hope Jeanette is a she. She says, I have a question for Young Holiday. His track, Peaceful Life, is too emotional. I wish to know the reason behind that particular track. I guess I should look for it. Did you get it? Should I read it
Okay,
again?
the track Peaceful Life, that is in my EP project, What the Wait. It's the first song of the project, What the Wait. And yeah, it's really a track that came to me at a difficult time.
Mashallah.
I had just finished recording my first LP, my first album, Emmanuel. Like I had just finished recording the album. Then I sent it to my elder brother. He was sponsoring the album. So I had to send it to him to listen. And he was doing the whole financing of the album. He had to put a lot of money in it. So when I sent him the album, he didn't like it. Like I had put in like 6 months of being in the studio, recording that whole project. Then I sent it to him and he was like, nah, this is not it.
Yeah.
This is, I don't feel like this is what people want right now. I feel like you need to do more commercial songs. This is too much rap and all of that. So we had that debate about why am I into the music thing in the first place. So we had one really heated debate. So after the debate, I went to Ralph's place. I was about traveling that day. So I went to Ralph's place in the morning. He actually was just working on that instrumental. He was just working on it. And as he was working on the instrumental, I just took out my pen and my paper. I was like, but why am I into this? Why am I doing this?
Mashallah.
And I actually asked the question, like, why am I doing this whole thing? I was really angry about my elder brother not liking the project, not wanting to invest in it.
Yeah.
And I realized all I ever wanted was just a peaceful life. And that's where I got to express myself what I mean by a peaceful life. Like in the song I said, even Dangote will still be mad. If somebody shows up at his gate and says his daughter has been raped in school and she was cut with a blade, so she's in the hospital fighting for her life. So no matter how successful we think Dangote is, the world still affects him.
Yeah.
One person can just rape his daughter, cut the daughter with a blade, and all of his money won't mean anything at that moment.
Mashallah.
And Dangote then cannot say he's having a peaceful life in his house and he doesn't care about every other thing in the world because he didn't really do anything for that. He didn't do anything to merit that or to demerit it. It just happened. And that's when I realized it's all about the balance we are looking for. We just want to be peaceful. We just want everything to be balanced around us. Just want to do songs and we listen to them and vibe to it. I just want my mom to be happy. And it's that whole balance, the whole struggles, trying to find serenity. The first line in the song is, I'm out here trying to find serenity.
Mashallah.
And that's just what brought the whole of that song. Like, it's all a peaceful life. I just want it. I just want that balance.
I can't see it. I've been looking for it. I'm looking for
You can
it.
search for it on Bandcamp.
Okay.
Search What the Wait, Young Holiday Bandcamp. I'm sure it will pop out. It's the first song. It's not on YouTube.
Okay.
We didn't put
Man.
it out on YouTube. It's
Mashallah.
it's just on Bandcamp and Audio Mac.
Man, thanks for that rough
You know,
work. Thanks for that rough work. Like what hit me when you were explaining that is the idea that I go through a lot of that, and some of the things you talked about. I was actually thinking this morning when I was driving home. Uh, uh, man, like yes, we want peace, but I've been thinking about it for a very long time. It looks like peace is actually understanding your situation. It's almost like the trick is learning the trick, in the sense that if we understand that things go up and down, then we would
Yeah,
find peace in going up and down. It's
and
like
down. That's it.
choosing. It's like knowing that sometimes it rains, sometimes the sun scorches the hell
Yes,
out of your
God.
skin. You see what I mean? But if you don't accept the fact that it's gonna rain and the sun is gonna be up, then when the rain is there and you're expecting the sun, you just be cursing the hell out of
You
everything.
start
And
picking up.
yeah, you see what I mean? So yeah, so when you were saying that, that's what was really striking me, because man, like when we look at history, a lot of people have achieved things and we try to look at them as our heroes, or we try to look at them to draw inspiration. And one of the things
Thank you.
that we see is the understanding that life goes up and down. Like now is the winter here. It's getting cold. The summer will come and perhaps the leaves
Oh,
will fall. And if there's a tree that I love, during the winter, the tree will just be like a skeleton, no leaves. During the summer, perhaps the green leaves will come. So if my peace is really only on the leaves, then during the summer, I'll be happy and peaceful. And during the winter, I'll be like a motherfucker who doesn't even know where he's going.
yeah, yeah,
that's
and you see,
that's true. That's
yeah,
true.
that's a good way of painting it, Brian. So it means that you have chosen to give yourself peace in this season,
Yeah.
and chosen to give yourself this happiness or unhappiness in that season.
Yeah.
And you
The
can
next.
also choose to just make yourself happy despite and all the seasons,
Mashallah.
right?
Yeah.
That's nice. That's a good way of putting it out.
That's
You know, Young Holiday, you have a lot of audacity, and I don't mean that in a bad way. Given your age, you wrote to your elder brother who's got box to sponsor it. He didn't do it, and you just felt that, man, come on, man. It's not about putting out the music and making out money. It's about me singing and putting out my voice out there. For me, that is the essence of humanity, for people to express themselves and live the life that they choose, right? But my fear is that when you start making this money, this philosophy where they tell us like this, if you change,
To tend to rhetoric.
true.
To tend to rhetoric.
That's true. That's true. That and
that's true, means that
one
you're
other
going to
thing.
change, you are going to abandon us.
I mean, like that's what happens to a lot of people. Like when you get it, it's something you think about every day. It's something you meditate about. That I hope, I hope I get to understand my philosophies. I hope I get to understand my principles, and I hope I always get to live by this. It's not just money that changes people. Extreme poverty also does the same thing.
Yeah, right.
When you're extremely poor,
You
it's
just
hard
start
to
singing
speak to those
nonsense.
people.
Yeah.
Yeah,
True.
I believe that you are not
So
going to change. I believe that
it's
you are not
something
going
you
to.
meditate on it every day. And like one thing I wanted to say about the Peaceful Life Project is,
Yeah.
and my elder brother, I really like the song because after I made that song, I made some other couple songs, and then I sent it back to him, and he actually sponsored the whole album. He actually, I
Good.
mean, he understood the whole vision of what we are trying to do, and he actually put in a lot of money now into everything because he got to understand what it is we want to get from the music. He got to understand why we are even doing it, and to me, that was a great blessing, and I'm really glad I got to do that song and I got to express what I was feeling back then.
Mashallah. Man, like if I
Nice.
have to say something about that, it reminds me of that's just life, man. Like Isaac Newton. So when I start rapping, conscious rap, like Young Holiday, I will be singing. I'll just be reciting laws and mathematical formulae so that people can be conscious of those things.
Yeah,
So
man.
so
Yeah, so that it will be easier for people
yeah,
who don't
yeah.
like to read.
Exactly. I just flow the whole thing, and then I have so many albums. So, but anyway, what I was thinking is, it reminds me of like something I was taught actually in Islam. Uh, Arabic, one word in Arabic could be captured by so many words in English. So there is this part in the Quran where Allah Subhanahu wa Taala is saying that I will test you. In English, it comes off as "I will test you," but when you look at the Arabic word, right, and then you translate it into English, it says that definitely, 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 I will test you. I will test you and test you and test you. I will test you with sickness. I will test you with poverty. I will test you with confusion. I will test you with so many things. So now you explaining that story or narrating that story reminds me of the fact that your work matters. If not, you could just write it and then it will be released. But your brother had to test you. Nature had to use your brother to test you, and if not, peaceful life wouldn't have been born. You see what I mean? So
That's
so sometimes things always happen, and that's why like ninjas, Shaolin masters, they always keep their cool and wait until the last minute before they dish out the blow, or before the ninja cuts with the sword. He waits and waits because life has this way of turning things around, or like they say in America, opportunity has a sly habit of appearing like misfortune. You see, but when it shows up, that's actually opportunity. It wouldn't come and say, "Hey, look at me! I'm packaged in this golden wrap." You know, it's gonna come as some kind of ugly thing that you probably don't want to see it. But the moment it's like putting your hand in some sink that is stuck, and you think that it's just nonsense and dirt that is in there in this pot that has been in like a block sink for 10 months. Then when you put your hand inside there, you touch something and you want to see it's gold or something. So that's how I feel when I hear that story. So thanks for that.
Yeah,
uh,
yeah,
Okay.
and
yeah.
thanks a lot.
They're all.
Mashallah. There is also another comment. You have a G Boy, David Brown. I don't know if I read well, or the Vibrant, G Boy, the Vibrant. So first he says, "Good evening to you, and to you. You much respect from this end, and a special greetings to Cameroon best lyrical bars and metaphors exporter, Young Holiday. We're proud of you." And then he goes next to say, "Then I would love to ask Young Holiday a question about one of his song titled 'It's Okay to Dream.' I would like to know, was that song just an inspiration or it was a life story? Because that particular song talks so much about what happens in many artists' life. So I would like to know if it was a story you went through or if it was just an inspiration." Mashallah.
Wow. Okay, this song, It's Okay to Dream. It's Okay to Dream.
On
Man,
YouTube?
that was the intro of my first EP I released, Holy Week EP. And the story, there's a story in between where um, Glenn is calling me, the CEO of Vanilla. He's calling me like, okay, what is happening? Why is nothing ready yet? Why is the whole project not ready? And I was explaining to him that the landlord just sent some boys to come and destroy the studio, to come and dismantle the whole thing because the owner of the studio had not paid rents.
Yeah.
So it was just a crazy moment. We went there that day to record and nothing really went right. Nothing went right that day.
Uh-huh.
So we got there and some boys just came in and they started taking everything out. They took everything out. They just dismantled the studio. They scattered everything. So we had to take the mic and the computer. That's basically what you need to do music: sound card, mic, and your computer.
Mm-hmm.
The other things, it's to really professionalize the music, but you can still do music without all of that. So we had to just get into one room and try to record in that room. That same day, I had to call an artist who featured in the album, Ghetto Prince. Ghetto Prince had to do the chorus of a song titled Last Supper, and his number wasn't going through. We're talking in the morning, then by afternoon,
You're a
his
lucky
number
man,
wasn't
man.
going through.
You're a very lucky man, man. Your stories just sound like the stories of kings. Sorry, continue.
So I later found out that he told me, as we just spoke in the morning, he lost his phone. So that's why we couldn't get to him that day. And the story actually happened, but we didn't record the story on the day it happened. So on that day, we tried to record the album. It didn't really go through. So we rescheduled the recording, and we had to do the recording later. And that's when we now explained the story.
Yeah, I have the song playing in the background. Man, you're very lucky. But now what I want to ask is, like, your stories, you know, the way I can summarize it is there's this ancient Chinese philosopher called Lao Tzu. He wrote a book. You know Lao Tzu? Yeah, he wrote Tao Te Ching. That he speaks in riddles. Man, that dude can get you drunk with. Yeah. So he says that we gain by losing and lose by gaining, and then he concludes that that's how kings and queens are made, because the king, normally the prince loses the father and then becomes king. You see, so he gains by losing, you see, and then he loses by gaining. So now, did you, when these things are happening to you, do you realize that it's a process that epitomizes the saying that gold is tested in hot fire? Or when these things happen, do you just like get depressed and get drowned in whatever is happening? Can you hear me? Oh, I think the village people just stepped in here to do one last magic trick. Yeah, I can repeat.
Yeah.
It may seem like hurdles, but if you look at it critically, it's just like the final gate that needs to be opened for you to achieve what it is that you really want to achieve. You see, so in your experiences, do you see these things as roadblocks that plunge you and launch you into your greatness, or are they things that when they happen you just get depressed and slumped in the couch and regretting all day? So how do you handle all these things as they happen?
Well, I know, like Glenn always tells me, young, I think your expectations are really low. It's like you believe the worst of things are going to happen to you every day you get up. But I'm someone who tries to understand every situation as much as possible. When something happens, I try to understand it. I try to understand why. I do not give up. How hard it gets, I have been in very difficult situations, and I don't know how I can put it. Maybe I'm lucky or something. Things always turn out good at the end. Like things always turn out good. Like maybe one last moment, something great will happen, and you're like, it's worth it. So I don't know if I should say I'm lucky or what, but things always turn out good.
Man, whatever. But I understand, and I would just say that in America, there's some people that define luck as being prepared. That's the definition. And then you let's say matrices, and then you just look at how to invest in matrix, and then in the exam they bring that, and then and then you're like, oh wait, thank goodness that I looked at that thing. You see what I mean? You're like, man, thank goodness that I looked at it. What even made me to look at it? So then you say you're lucky, but you forget that you actually prepared. That was the preparation that you did.
Prepared.
Yeah. So yeah, man, you
That's
can
a
say
nice way
lucky.
to look at it.
Yeah, you
That's
can
a
say
nice.
lucky, and it happens so many times. You're walking, and then maybe you take your trousers, and then you just decide to take some handkerchief and put it in your pocket that you never do, and then this lady, you meet this lady, something happens, she needs a handkerchief, and then you give her, she wipes her tears, and maybe that's how you meet your wife. You see, you got prepared. You see what I mean? Yeah. So I just wanted to throw that out there, man. Like it's amazing hearing these stories, and hope that
Yes.
most of us can understand that this is life. Like when things get hard, it's just so that we can enjoy the harvest. Anyway, let me stop preaching.
No,
That's the end
that's
of my
cool.
speech. Yeah. So let me see if there's any other
That's a
question.
great thing.
Let me see if there's any other. This is the song in the background, and let me increase the volume a little.
It's okay to dream. Like, it's
Man, and while we're here, I would really like to give a shout out, like really say thanks to everybody who is following the live, and great thanks to Foso Janet, great thanks to Miriam, great thanks to G Boy,
Mashallah.
Vibrant, the Vibrant, great thanks to Auntie Jones, great thanks to Alfred. These are the people who they are there pushing everything, they are there supporting, they share every post, they text me privately and be like, Young, keep writing, you're getting there.
Mashallah.
Like they are giving me the whole confidence to keep moving. And great shout out to my elder brother Demonstra. He's really doing a lot. And shout out to Bezo, Verbeck, Dada Encho, Prince Will. These are people who are there through everything. Shout out to Rap Instrumentals. Hey. And it's just a special journey. And thank you guys so much for having me. Thank you so much for having me on the platform. I think we've been
Mashallah.
talking for so long. It's been like 2 hours.
Yeah,
I
right.
think I need to run now.
Yeah, right. Thanks. Me too. I need to fly to work. Like, if we really want to chat, we'll probably chat all day. Uh, you've given the shout outs, but before we close this church, we always like to have like some kind of a closing remark. So now, in light of what is happening in the world, you have like NSAS. A lot of people are beginning to find out their inner strengths in the background of oppression in many forms. Some people, it could be that they see music or whatever art that they had been neglecting picking up, and they decide to make the first move to maybe be an artist, be a poet, be a pastor, whatever it is. So that's like a background of what is happening today. So what do you have to say to us as we march towards achieving our own perfections before we split?
Well, it's actually great that the things are happening. We definitely don't want bloodshed. We definitely wake. People are becoming woke. People are becoming more conscious of their environment and the strength they have, the power they have to make a change and to make a difference. And all I can tell people is only you can set you free. You're the only one who can do that. Only you can set yourself free, and everybody should work hard enough to set themselves free from mental slavery, from emotional slavery, from desire slavery, from all of these things that hold us back. Everybody should try to set themselves free, and it's definitely getting better. It's getting better. So we just have to walk through it, and let's get the journey going.
Inshallah. Okay, thank you very much. There is a question from. Do you want to take that before we split, or you reply in the comment section?
No problem. Let me
Yeah.
take the question.
Okay. There is a question from Mimi J Milson, and thanks Mimi for your question. And she says, "I am having a great time being here. Thank you, Topo Spaces. I have a question for
Thank
Harley."
you.
Yeah, thank you, Mimi. Immense thanks.
Thank you, Mimi.
We're
One
also
love.
grateful to be here to bring this content to you all. So the question is, I would love to know what his track and Francais is all about. Was it also political? Did you get that?
Yes, Pastor.
Young, are you there? So she's asking that she would like to know about your song en français. that is it political?
Okay, the song on France there.
Yes.
It's a song where the French is the chorus of the song is done in French, and the title of that song en français was supposed to be The Distraction. That's what the title was supposed to be.
I see, yeah.
That is what we wrote the song. We wrote the song on. So en français is a discussion we are having a lot in Cameroon right now.
Yeah.
The discussion of, are you supposed to do music in French or in English if you're supposed to break through the market?
Yeah.
And it's a conversation we are having a lot right now. So I would not like to say it's political. There are aspects of it which are political, where the whole inspiration of the song, it's not a political movement. It's just about us understanding that music is really not just the language you're doing. There are other languages out there. You can also do music in. You can do it in German, you can do it in Chinese, you can do it in any language you want to do. It's just expressing what you're feeling. So it's not really a political movement. It's just people understanding the essence of like the cultural necessity, the cultural relevance of a piece of track, a piece of art. And it's just for people to understand that and to know that the discussion we are having about should we sing in French or English, it's just a distraction. It's really nothing we should be bothered about. Sing in whatever language you feel comfortable in singing in.
Yeah.
That's just a distraction. It's just something people distract themselves with.
Mashallah. Man,
something we should be bothered about.
Man, mashallah, you're too conscious, man. And so again, as someone who goes out and acts what he talks about, you just actually did it instead of just sitting to and just joining the distraction and adding fuel to it. Anyway, thanks for the clarification. All good things must come to an end. Again, consider this one plus episode out of countless number of episodes that we could have. We really appreciate your time. We appreciate the times of those that have been here and the various skill that they put to get your work to the acme of its reality. And thank you for that. Thank you, Isaac. Thanks to all those who are listening. We'll try to bring you best content as time goes on. Yeah. So all the best. Shout out to you guys there. Me, I'm going to enjoy my song.
So all right, cheers, man.
Yeah, so thanks. Actually he dropped out. Let me see if he will join again or if we just close the pipe. Man.
It's not so very audible.
Oh, it's not? Okay, then it means that Isaac, you and I, Young Hoida was here. We can, let me restart it, then we can play it one more time and then split. Can you hear it?
Yeah.
And let me turn on all the volume then. Mashallah. Yeah. Holy. I just laugh.
Listen, it's a beautiful catastrophe, don't ever forget. I'm God's highly introverted judge, killing lameness, mystic nature, pure quality. Rap skills, the ultimate vanilla's warrior. X-rated young Cillian, they expect me to lose when I just play the alphabet. Ticket no fi bunch, long for house, do it na bankalet. Cue my vibe, the resurrect, like the birthplace is Nazareth, bringing change to the ears of the world. I'm a prophet, so I stick to missionary. When they switch to 6ix9ine, it's a crazy freaky party when these little kids rhyme. They're killing the 10 commandments. I came with these lines, looking like a stitch in time. I'm about to save 9 rap leaves, rap vision is. This is warming up, we in the ring to save the culture. Boxing with foreign gloves, why they know I'm with key? While we still knocking doors, mad flow 7-7, I'm breaking these fucking walls. I'm still the sickest, I'm the one who has the cure. Been in the kitchen cooking, but I'm about to serve it raw. How do fake people dress the ego? They sugar coated, then go screaming we are equal. That shit provokes me. Excuse man, go rap now this, I'm living the life, I'm getting the money, I'm better than this. I'm a god, I'm a king when I step on the mic, I dream with the best, I'm pissing them off. Came from the bottom, I'm getting my way up, boss in the game, so I never get a pick. I'm stuck on the floor, so they offer shot with a boss draws. Maybe twist my tongue and try sounding all American. Scream shit throughout the whole verse, so things I've never had. Mango brang na brax, so they make a buy remedy job. So they flop, showing people back place, not ever stand. So on every song, I bring a different story, different flow, switch it up, control S about to save the globe. Not about being better than them, it's been the best of me. I know time is money, I invest in me.
Man.
So what these other rappers do not concern me. The young, the other rappers, you're sure to get a zero, do the math, I'm a constant.
For a second there, the dragon in me was wanting to spit some fire, but I will keep it for the call of the winter.
No, please don't keep it next time. Just blow it, man. This is Topo Spaces, man. We don't hold things back, man.
Mashallah, man, it's getting cold, so I'll probably need that fire when the winter is really winter.
I would learn more concerned if it's true and not how much it hurts. The game has not begun. This is holy warming up. Take a place and don't move. You can sit rest assured. The game is in good hands. The game is in a good place.
Yes, man, the game is in good hands.
It's in a good hands. The game is in a good place.
Yeah. There's so much coming up, man.
Bro,
There's so much
also-
coming up, man.
Oh, you guys tight, man.
Yeah, man, like
Oh, you guys solid, man. Nice.
mashallah.
Yeah.
Man, like I mean, well, I think with that we've come to the end of this. It was amazing being here. Since Isaac and I always say that this is therapy, if I have to if I have a shrink or a psychologist, if I go back and they take my vitals, they'll be like, man, what happened to you? You're in good shape. Like it'll be like you're brand new, because I feel really good. Like after this episode. Thanks, Young Holiday. Thanks everyone for the questions you put forth. And we'll try our best to bring you more. Isaac, do you have anything to say before we close this church?
No, I just want to say I'm just impressed with this young man and how he has been able to, to correlate, his energies at this age, and really understand his essence and what he's supposed to do at this time of his life. It's really impressive to see a young man, with that potentials, knowing that he has the potentials, knowing that the potentials are in good hands.
Mashallah.
Yeah, I just wish him the best.
Yeah. I mean,
Thank
it's
you,
the
and
same
thank you, everybody.
Yeah, it's the same like people like Isaac Newton, you could even prophets like Jesus. Those were geniuses in spirituality. People like Einstein in physics, Isaac Newton, they were young when